Welcome guys to our second tutorial on stacks, queues and deques. Today we'll be looking at queues. So a queue is an ordered collection of items where the addition of new items occurs at one end, normally called the rear, and removal occurs at another end, normally called the front. The item that has been in the collection the longest is at the front. The ordering principle is FIFO, that is first in, first out. So, like I said on the previous tutorial on stacks, so all those words can be boiled down to understanding just by understanding this visual representation. I'm a huge fan of visual representation to actually understand what's happening instead of using a lot of theoretical words, yada yada yada. So stacks, right? Not stacks, but then queues. Look at queues as a normal queue line. You see, when you're standing in a line, there's a line, you find 5 people there. In this case, you find 3 people there, 3 people in the line. You cannot put yourself in the line in front. That doesn't happen. And that's not how lines work in real life or in programming. So you find 3 people in a line, you put yourself at the back, that is the rear, and then the moment you wanna be out of the line, or let me say you get serviced, right? Say, let's say you were in a supermarket, you're standing in the line, and then you wanna purchase something. So the only time that you can be able to purchase it's when you're at the front of the line. That's when you get removed out of the line. So that's how basically this is. All those words and everything, the FIFO, the first in, first out, that's basically queues in a nutshell. You inside at the back, and then you wait in the line till it's your turn to be in front of the till, and then purchase, and then you then come out. So this is the addition and this is the removal. So now let's look at the implementation in Python, and let's see. Okay, so now that we're here, right? So now let's see what we need. So we need the push method. So if you guys didn't watch the previous video on stacks, I would advise that you go look at it. It will be very informational. So now let's look. We have push. This is just adding items. We have our peak, which is returning the item at the front. And then we have our get size. This is returning the length of the queue. And then we have is empty. This checks if queue is empty. And then we have our display. Displays shows the queue. And then finally we have our removal. That is removing front item. So now let's implement this class object, and then let's see. So class queue, and then pass in the object. So we need our constructor that is self, and also our queue. So our queue will be that. So we need the push method. So push, we need the data, and then we say self dot insert. So we want to insert from the 0th element. We now do not want to append normally like we did on the stack. So we want to append, insert on the 0th element, and then push everything the forward, because the moment we remove, we pop out the first index, not the first index, but then the first value came in. So I hope you guys understand that. So data, and then a peak self, and then we return self.items, self.items, len of self.items -1, and then define get size, and then we return length of self.items, and then we have this empty, and then we return self.items, and then we have the display. So basically this is the same from here, this is the same as the stack. However, the difference was just the appending or the insertion, however you wanna look at it, and then also the removal. So and then we'll say self.items.pop. So let's test this out. Let's say q is equals to q, and then we'll say q dot is empty, and then we'll say q push push in 7, q dot push 29, and then q dot display. So but then here, like, to avoid the mistake that I did on the stacks interview questions, just print it out and then print this out, and then also print out the get size, q get size, and then q, just do everything, q dot remove, let me say peak first, and then print this thing out, and then I say q dot remove, and then I want to display, finally I want to display again, and then we should have all the methods working. And then just for checking if that is empty, works properly, we say print q dot is empty. So I expect to get false, and then our q, and then 2, and then our get size here 7, not get size but then peak 7, removal, and then display, and then is empty should be giving me false here. So now let's run this and see. Let's see. Q object has no attribute insert. Okay, what's happening now? Oh yeah, self.items dot insert. My bad. Let's see now. Now it should be running properly. Okay. So here we go. We have true, that is empty. We have our queue, and then let's see what's this method, this method. And then we have the get size, that is 2, and then we have our peak element, that is 7, and then we removed, and then we have 29 left, and then false. Let's go through this in implementation one more time, and then yeah. So here the push, we used insert. So I realized earlier on I might not have explained this properly. So let's say we have a list, right? We have a list 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So I want to add a new value 10. So mind you, this is don't look at this as a list, look at this as a queue. So our queue, we want to insert a value at the end because this is the first, second, third, and fourth. Don't look at this as a list, look at this as a queue. So I want to insert a value behind here. So that's what this insertion method is doing here. It's inserting the data, the zeroth element. So I then insert my value 10 here. But then now, because when we pop, we want to pop in the first value, that is our 56, which is in the front of the queue. So yeah, I hope that is much clear now, because I realized first explanation wasn't that much clear. And then this peak method, it picks out the element that's in front in the queue, and then get the size, and then we check is empty, and then the rest is the same as any other method in the list. So this is the implementation of queues. Hoping you guys enjoyed and learned a lot from this tutorial. Hoping to see you guys in the next lesson, that is the Deque. Please like, share, and subscribe, and goodbye.